once more in an all too familiar place. So why don't I recognize it? That was pretty cinematic, wasn't it? That's like the opening of every game ever. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring once again is VP Void Mall. But this doesn't look like a mall, so I'm a little confused at how that's actually going to work, although those curtains certainly do remind me of it. Now, this is probably one of the most impressive things on the workshop, and I mean it. Not only are they a completely original take on liminal imagery, but they also come complete with their own story and lore and characters, all communicated in a way that's entirely up to player interpretation. But even that's not the most impressive thing. No, the most impressive thing is how it captures the endlessness of liminal spaces. I've played a number of absolutely huge liminal space maps, and these are no exception. They're gigantic. But they actually managed to take it a step further by having it so that each map has one or multiple exits or pitfalls that each load another map. And so these maps actually connect onto each other, often in multiple places, to create a true feeling of endlessness. I mean, imagine getting through something that's taken hours to fully explore, only to find yourself right back to someplace you've already been, someplace which itself took you hours to get out of. It's insane. It's a truly massive undertaking, and a lot of them have been reworked now in order to better fit the way this project has come along. I must say, I'm really nervous to go forward and explore this. A place which I thought I knew really well, but which from the get-go I don't recognize at all. So, let's get started. I mean, immediately, this doesn't seem like a mall. It's like I can feel that musty air being gently pushed around. I can smell this room. For some reason, it just looks so clear in my headset. It's like I'm actually here. 2:22. Mechanical clicking from a digital clock. Just one of the many subtle things that's wrong with all this. So where do we start? Honestly, it feels like one of these maps that's had the lights turned off and the door locked until I came back. Like it's been waiting for me. And after that, this is just blindingly bright. Oh, but it's not light from a kitchen window, but the door left open. That's been a recurring theme. Every fridge we encounter has been raided before we get to it. Unfortunately, there's no Lunchables in the back rooms. Actually, the windows we do see don't seem to let much light in at all. That was not the door I tried to open. I'm not liking these sounds I'm hearing. Wait, why does this place look so aggressively normal? Okay, this is freaking me out. For some reason, the visuals and audio are way more clear than what I'm used to from the index. The howling wind outside my window isn't helping. Come on. Open up. I can't even interact with this one. You sure you don't want to let me out? Oh, there's some familiar imagery. Nowhere Mall. Dude, this is like we're in an apartment above the mall. I've never seen it so close and so bright. It's like we were just in our own home's bathroom and we stepped out onto this. No wonder it seems so normal. This probably is our home. And yet it's like the whole thing was transported here, like the Wizard of Oz, seamlessly as if it were always here. Squinting beyond those pink rays, I can see darkened apartment buildings in the background. But here we are. I wonder if this is meant to be the first map one enters now. Well, I suppose they're all meant to be taken in any order. We can't get out that way. Anomalous area is right. God, look at that. Those bright neon lights coming through those dark blinds. It's like we're being given one moment of respite before we have to poke our heads out. That's not going to open. I stand corrected. You know, from years of doing this and urban exploration, I like to think I have a pretty good instinct for which doors will and will not open, but apparently that's constantly being tested. You were an error sign a second ago. Okay. We're going forward, I guess, or down. Down to the skylights we were just overlooking. Nothing here. These maps are no strangers to false doors. No. Nor for ominous shadows being cast by strangely brightly colored lights. It's like we're being guided downward. Rediscover humanity. And of course, from playing the others, I recognize that as what would eventually become VP White Complex. It's so interesting to me. One of the coolest things about this project is that depending on which order you play these maps in, posters like this can be a reminder, a callback, or a foreshadowing. Ooh. It's like a window like this was meant for VR, for us to slowly approach and peek out to see what's there. But those ventilation noises that sound a lot like throat humming are still ever present. No? So here we are. It's going to be important for us to open every door we can because many of them will only open from one side. God, this is crazy. Before, it had that sort of movie theater effect where we almost couldn't tell if it felt like night or day. Now, it is very firmly night. And that's funny because it very obviously is not by this world's standards. Wait, White Complex, big paper. Oh, I know who you are. Not me. Look, a little kitty drawn in pink. Red pointing to Jimmy, marked in black. Although with pink wings drawn on. It looks like several people have had their turn at this board. One desperately trying to mark where everything is. Another trying to describe entities, and then a third, more mischievous one just kind of having fun with all this. TG Home Video. Is there anything back here in this closed store? This closed store that feels a lot like an office building, making out here feel like a street. And it's strange how perfect all of this is. Like it's a movie set or the line for a ride at Universal Studios or something. And yet every once in a while, you see these imperfections, things haphazardly strewn about. Ooh. There's so much more to this, but we can't get out there just yet. No. No. The light above the double doors is inviting. But the darkness makes me feel more sinister about it. Ooh. Here we are, we've done it. Oh, it is pitch black back here in the offices. Or at least that's what it feels like. Feels kind of wrong to call it the back rooms, but it really is the back rooms. And it's going downward. Maybe this isn't what I want right now. Maybe a lot of things aren't what I want right now. God, it's constantly going back and forth between really low and really high ceilings. It's like constantly gaining and losing altitude. I feel like I need to swallow to make my ears pop. It was like we were being greeted and then just left in silence. And it's strange because I had approached this huge room cautiously, but I felt compelled to come out to make myself known when that music started, especially with the singing. You've actually done it. Now, not only does she get to sing, she gets to dance as well. But But even now, her hair covers her face as she twirls. It's like she's always turning to face us, but never quite meets our eyes. Well, here you are. You're this place personified. We look around, we see you everywhere, even if it's not necessarily obvious at first glance. And given how you've chosen to contact us, I've got to imagine you are this place. And that being the case, could you maybe start the escalator for me? I was thinking about starting from the top and working my way down. Okay, I am definitely seeing what you're going for with this redesign. I'm really listening to the lyrics now. I'm really listening, and it kind of makes me wonder, were you like me at one point? You clearly have power here, but were you someone who just ended up here? Or who knows, maybe you're just trying to reach out and relate to me. In any case, I'm having a great time sitting here and soaking up the neon 90s. And this one we can see a little bit better. Jimmy drawn here, but given wings. You know, me. So someone found out your name and you were excited at being known. Down, down. All this is a big wall of foreshadowing. Shop for sale, under renovation, coming soon. They really mean coming soon, because it ain't coming now. Alright, let's just start opening doors and seeing where we can go then. Have you seen this man? Special features, lack of. I will be honest, that is actually quite a special feature. But the corners indicate who put this here. So is she seeking Jimmy? More importantly, is Jimmy hiding from Inu? Void Mall Records. I see. Are you parodying a certain famous vaporwave album? Oh, those sounds are constant. Never mind. It's just like when that song cut out. Space Entertainment. Also for sale. In other words, what I'm looking around and seeing is a whole lot of invitations to come on in and stay a while. There's not 1 inch of this place that isn't saturated in bright colors. Well, more accurately, I should probably say vibrant colors. Vibrant colors, but it's really quite dark. It's got that after hours feel, and yet, I don't know, it's like I'm being acknowledged, which leads to a strange feeling of having been caught. And of course, anything pink, including Ina herself. I can't help but wonder if she has some connection to the sun. Nothing. The library. That seems like my kind of place. Ooh. And unlike the other stores, this place is actually stocked. There's time now. Okay, well, not fully stocked, but still plenty stocked to keep me busy for a while. Look at that. It wasn't just me. There is actually like a dense fog out there. And from here, we can see it being whipped over these glass canopies. Like there's an intense wind. Maybe what we're hearing isn't the ventilation. Maybe it's a raging storm outside. Which leads me to believe that for as creepy as this place is, well, maybe it's the only place we want to be right now. Huh. Even the things that don't bear your color still bear your mark, huh? Librarians only. I think that makes me authorized. Never mind. A locked door revokes that authorization in a big hurry. Look at this. Another section. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to be stocked at all. Oh my, it's familiar in broad strokes, but there's still so much that's new. First of all, the lighting has been completely overhauled. And there's so much verticality. Everywhere I go, I'm looking down or looking up and seeing something. There's a food court down there. Well, if it's anything like the fridge in my house, I don't imagine there's going to be much stock. You come across with a curious and playful energy, but in your address to me, your song, most of what I heard was sadness. Well, we're in a big hurry to get to nowhere. Wait, Void Pet Shop? What does one carry in a Void Pet Shop? Kitty! Stay safe, little one. You know, did you momentarily take kitty form in order to give me a warning? Also, more importantly, stay safe from what? Authorized personnel only. We're going to be seeing a lot of that, aren't we? And we can't get through there, although I can see that there's more. We're just going to have to take it slow then. The only merchandise left behind is whatever's in those boxes and that little house and some bowls. This is so strange because normally in a mall you would have like one or two giant central hallways and stores off to the sides, but this, it's like it's mostly hallways that vary in size and width, and worse yet, that seem to be completely disconnected from each other. Like sometimes you have to go through a store to get to another section of hall. It's the kind of thing where, like, when you take any individual area, it feels like a mall, but when you take it as a whole, it feels like several malls mashed together. I always end up holding my breath for the few seconds after I ring one of these things. Still can't get through to those back areas. Doesn't matter, we've accessed some stores. Which one was this? Ah, the one I tried to enter earlier. Under renovation, coming soon, coming now. Defeated room. Fear a number. Buy now. New monitors from Skytech. Your mark is just everywhere, isn't it? So, fear a number 222, like on the clock. Are you suggesting that there's something to do with that? Like maybe opening my door at precisely that time was the reason I ended up here? That's always been the scary thing about the back rooms, the idea that you could end up there by exploiting a glitch you couldn't possibly have known existed. You'll never in a million years figure out what it was you did wrong. Like, oh, I thought that was a silhouette of a person, just seats beside a window. Game Void. Power of the fun in the palm of your hand. Okay, that's interesting. The store has had its sign wiped away. Construction barriers up, but the door is wide open. Looks like something punched its way through. Now, who do I know that has a penchant for kicking down doors? Oh my god. I can't help but feel that that means you're watching me more intently here. And why shouldn't you be? You have a perfect view straight into the room. Jimmy was here. I remember this. Okay, this is crazy. See, I'm approaching this as a whole different map, and most of the time it feels like a whole different map, but every once in a while I'll be in an area and just be overwhelmed with deja vu, and it'll take me a moment to think back to that first explore and remember seeing it for the first time. And the crazy thing is, something I've talked about a few times on this channel is how when I explore something in VR and I finish the video and I put the headset down and I think back to these moments, I don't remember it as wearing a VR headset and playing a game. I remember having been there. And so doing something like this is really screwing with my head. Skytech computing. It all comes from right here. Unless, of course, they won't let us in. And these are going to be more or less the same everywhere, I bet. No. Oh, come on, I really want to get in there. That looks so cozy. Dim, vibrant lighting is actually kind of a vibe. Especially in a setting like this, you slide into a booth staring down at passersby. I like to imagine this place is pretty insulated from sound. A spot like this is a great place to slowly munch on a serving of fries over the course of an hour. Art is all you need. The Void Gallery opening soon, all ages. You are here. So much of this bears your image, your brand, essentially. And I just keep thinking about how you did all of this, shaped this place in your image, just waiting for a visitor that has only now arrived. Actually, that has me wondering, necessarily, if I really am the first. It is dark up there, but I can see the locked door sign. Wait. Oh, this is where I entered. Okay, I'm also getting deja vu about this because I've been here. That's the way back to my apartment. And on the one hand, part of me feels like I should just go up there and curl up and hope to wake up back home. But also, what else is there to do but explore our new surroundings and hope to be contacted again? Okay, so where to first? I kind of feel like down here would be a good place to start. You know, every mall has a sort of focal point, that one area where all the traffic converges and you can most easily navigate as a reference point. And it feels like this one has several. And I think that's part of why this design is freaking me out so much. It's got no central feature. It's got plenty of things that could be, but that's kind of exactly the problem. Well, isn't that an ominous-looking staircase over there? Once more, imperfection off to the side of total perfection. These things look like a magazine ad from the 90s. The kind of thing that you'd never actually see if you were to visit the places in those ads, and yet here it is. I think that's part of it. I had never actually thought about that before, but it's like visiting an advertisement. The kind of thing that is meant to shape your expectations, but would creep you out if that were actually what you were to find. Container, office and hotel suite. Another wanted poster for Jimmy. Vein Spaces, only in theaters this Halloween, starring Manny Manson, Lisa Board, and Garrett Williamson. Oh, look at that. I wonder if this is actually going to join the lineup at some point. All these back areas seem to move downward. And anytime we enter one, it's like it drops the showy facade of the mall. And we're just stepping down into honest bareness. Oh, this is actually much bigger than I was expecting. There's a whole underside. And it goes deeper still. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not ready for this. Let's explore it on her terms first. Let's explore it on her terms, and then we'll see about cracking the facade. Interior windows that look straight down onto that area. Why does it feel like going to see the wizard? Like with each neon gate I pass through, some different aspect of me is being observed and judged. Are you lost? Well done. Go visit WC. White Complex? You use sunscreen. Wait. Have we been here? No. I don't think so. Why did it look so familiar? Oops.
Oh my dear, are you lost? There's a place you won't have to worry, a colorful place full of hope, a place you can count on. But please don't break my heart, I won't be able to see another innocent victim of their lies. Welcome, make this place your home.
Another innocent victim of their lies. You're approaching me as if you're trying to take me in. But can we trust you either? It is so strange, the feeling that a place is trying to convince you to love it. It's like coming into Disney World, but being told constantly that all of this is for you specifically. Like, it's creepy. It's creepy to be that wanted, and it makes me think that maybe she needs us more than we need her. And that's saying something because we probably do need her. I mean, we have no idea what this place is or what we're doing here. Sometimes life can change the entire context of a given situation. Places can have different connotations and feelings. It's all a matter of perspective. Can you still hear her singing? The same applies to time as well. I suppose that falls under experiences. Because I'll be honest, when we first stepped out of our room and I heard those speakers kicking on and that announcement started playing, well, right before that, I was actually expecting to hear her singing. I guess, in a way, over a year on, I've never stopped hearing it. I bet this connects the stores. Yes, here we are. Where is my yellow sun? It really does make me think that you came from our world. Like, this wasn't always your fate. And again, maybe that means we can trust you, or maybe it's just another trick. Either way, she's made herself very clear she wants us to stay. Do we take her up on that offer? Well, we found our way back. All roads lead here. It almost feels like these are like one interconnected video store that it actually expects you to walk down the corridors to get to. Like, each one can have multiple storefronts. Almost like plants being attached to one root that winds its way through the ground and pops up in different places. Even the back hallways seem to be layered on top of each other like this. But it's important that we open up every door we can for greater mobility and to leave ourselves a breadcrumb trail. And I'll be honest, she has created this situation where I am so creeped out by the emptiness of this place, the ambiance, that I do find comfort in her. I find myself rushing to any place I can hear her singing, constantly moving around, motivated primarily by being able to hear her next song. I actually value her company in this situation. When a song is playing, I sit there and I listen intently, and I'm actually sad when it stops. I feel alone and compelled to go look for her again. And it's so cool that, like, through the map design, it actually instills that in the player. It creates that needy sort of response. Okay. I'm making a pledge not to go further down until I've cleared this floor. Whatever clearing this floor actually means. Why so many doors? Why so many corridors? Didn't actually expect that to open. Back to here. Of course, we should probably be paying more attention to that other part of the song. Why are you following me? Maybe she was stalked when she first arrived and now she has the upper hand, or maybe those wanted posters are more for her peace of mind. Like, this is something that disappeared and she can't rest until she knows where it is. Then again, if we want to apply meta-knowledge in some of the more recent maps, I've been wondering if maybe Jimmy isn't also like us. Hi, dear. Hi. I bet these probably lead up to the balcony overlooking the food court, right? No, it's a different spot. It's actually back to here. Which means we've still got a long way to go. Oh, wait. What is this? Ultra Mega TVs, only at TV Land. I'm pretty sure TV Land is already a registered trademark. Oh, wait. Look at that, a false outdoors. Protected from the dead landscape out there. A black sky and empty buildings illuminated by the pink sun. Look at that. That's something that's always creeped me out about these maps. Those huge towers packed densely together and yet not a single light on in any of the windows. You wouldn't be able to see them at all were it not for the pink reflection off of their surface. You get the impression you're in the best possible place to be, for as threatening as it may seem. GM rockets. Shakes, fries, pizza, anything. And Eno and out. You know what? I'm just going to sit here for a little while. I'm actually enjoying this. Look at that. It's even got the little street light in the middle. As if that one little detail, just by being there, even if the lighting does nothing, can fool you into believing it's an outdoor space. Oh, look, there's even skylights above it. I guess sooner or later I do have to move on, little as I want to. Wait, have I been through here? No, I surely have not. No. No. You were not facing this way before. I didn't even know we could get in front of the sign. Once more, it feels like I've been caught someplace I'm not supposed to be. The back of the library. And you know, I've just noticed that's really weird. It's like a full-sized column, like out in the main area, but just stuffed back here behind some bookshelves. Alright, let's go see what's over here. This seems like a warehouse. A warehouse with a full-on vehicle. A vehicle left running as if someone was here moments ago. Of course, given the nature of a place like this, for all I know, it only looks and sounds like a car. I am so afraid walking up to that door because its windows are completely tinted black. And I just imagine some not quite human thing staring at me as I pass. Now and here. I'll be totally honest, I don't want to go down there. I just don't want to do it. I mean, I will later, of course. Void space ahead. What a relief. Imagine that. Alright, let's go this way. I thought this was just a staircase, but I guess not. Warning, void. I get the impression that you have control over this whole area, but the void spaces are something you can't get rid of, or you would. And I also get the impression that the reason you don't like them is because there are ways I could potentially leave you. This is imagery that appears throughout all these maps, like an attempt to recreate normalcy. And I believe later lore may have implied that there could actually have been a colony of humans who had ended up here, living here. So, I don't know, maybe it's a combination of scattered remnants of our world and conscious people trying to piece it together. And then maybe corrupted by things that used to be people. I mean, we don't find anyone here now. And who knows, maybe even our choice of shower curtains had something to do with what led us here. That pipe ambiance sounds a lot like breathing. And this back hallway feels a lot like a dark alley. Wait. Yes! Yes, I knew it! Oh, we still can't open this. Jimmy writes in black, Inu writes in pink, and I've just realized... Look at that! On the roof of the mall, there's what looks like a row of suburban houses. Right beneath those great, dense skyscrapers. The crazy thing about this is that from any given screenshot, you would never know what kind of place this is. You would never know, except for those strange glass canopies here, that this is on the roof of a mall. Well, I guess you could say the same about my own living accommodation. Exit? I don't believe you. Yep. Not even real doors. I didn't even notice that somebody up here in the dark could have watched me go by. Have I been through here? No. This is through here. All this is me trying to make sense of a space, and here we are coming into the back of what I recognize to be the pet shop. Okay. I'm sort of making my way. We're at the point where we're sort of making our way. Sorta. There's actually a staircase going down this way that I had not noticed before. Right here, and up there, no. This is not the place I'm thinking of. This is a whole lower level that I don't know if I'm ready for yet. And who? No sun? There's that kitty again. Join us. You've got the pink branding, and it kind of makes me wonder if this isn't a slip of your true nature. Stay still. Oh my god, I love this. I love how all the little details in the environment that would normally be filled out by just like assets from Half-Life or Counter-Strike are actually custom and meaningful. Things that don't call your attention to them in any way, but it is absolutely worth looking at all these things. Happy home. I mean, I'll be honest, I would wear, like, any of these. Especially with the attachments to this map series. Well, I guess we're down here now, and the verticality is a little bit complicated. We can't exactly say floor 1, 2, 3. They kind of overlap. I would also like to note that the ambient sounds cut out, not when I stepped inside this basement area, but when the door opened. Wait, no. Hey there, kitty. Even you're starting to show some cracks. Okay, let's get beyond here then. It is disturbingly serene here. And there's so many lights reflecting on the surface of the water that I cannot get a read on how deep these pools are. So I guess there's only one way to find out. Okay, that one's normal. Now on to the next one. This is the only way we have to find out. Oh, and look, I was wondering about this. That one looks normal. And in fact, from the look of those windows, that's probably out where we were looking, where Jimmy was, allegedly. Like he's trying to get in, and the exits are sealed for him. But these others are boarded up. And that one is looking right down onto us, almost as if she's like, yeah, I thought you'd like this place. I look around and it's like I can feel the humidity, the warm water, the moisture condensing on every tiled surface. Okay, that one's normal. It's a bit weird that they're uniformly deep, but they're all normal depth. Tell you what is strange is this bricked window. Okay, the inspection is complete. Look at this. You've got your own little private beach. With only one light on, it feels weirdly more artificial than it did. You know, maybe it would be good to just kind of relax and enjoy for a little bit. Although, imagine exploring the back rooms with sand in your shoes. I really hope this is fake. Still, as always, I do enjoy the downtime. Being able to see this place the way she wants me to see it. But only in short bursts. In a moment, this will fade away, and I'll have to go back to doing what I was doing, seeing this place as somewhere threatening, even as it's actively trying to comfort me. You know, she acted like there had been others, and that would certainly make sense, but what happened to them? Was it that they eventually moved on, that something came and got them, that they were forced out? We can't rule that out. What happens when she loses interest? The way I see it, in a situation like this, there are three things you can do. You can either completely turn your thoughts off and just let yourself wander and hope for the best. You can ruminate constantly and try and come up with a strategy by guessing what this place's game is, which to me feels like a fool's errand. Or, potentially, try and embrace it. Do what it wants, feel what it wants you to feel, and hope that you can make yourself feel it. And for some, maybe that wouldn't be too hard. Either way, it seems like this is probably just gonna loop, and I feel no need to turn it off. Oh, is this where you receive your merchandise? Hang on, can I can't pick it up. Once more, I would totally wear any of these. So, reception. You! Hey there, my little tennis ball friend. You seem to be quite haunted when last I explored this place. Glad to see you're still kicking around. Here, come with me. And still physicsy as always. Whoop. You literally flew out of my hand. I was going to bounce you up and catch you. You actually seem to be gaining momentum as you roll. Frictionless tennis balls. That's kind of incredible. You know, if you have any... this would be the part where I look down at a pair of shoes and I slowly look up at the monster and I go... Whoop. But anyway, I've given up on catching you. I'll probably find you someplace else later. Another of these. But this one acts like it's already playing. Reflect. Hey. Guardian player. Of all the artwork we found, somehow that feels the most meaningful, the most insightful. Okay. Should I maybe go turn that off and just so that we can hear whatever else we need to hear? Also, I've just spotted those doors hiding among the back wall. Honestly, I could have kept that going forever. I wouldn't have minded. That's not drawn by you. What about these doors? Do they lead to anything? No, they do not. Okay, don't lose sight of the mission. Anytime you go anywhere new, it's just about opening as many doors as possible, about recognizing as many places as possible. Because that's how we figure out where to go next. Okay. Okay. It's funny how some of the windows in our apartment made it seem like daylight, and yet everything down here feels like night. Well, it definitely doesn't help when some of these windows are covered. It's like a place perpetually under construction and renovation, but with no rhyme or reason. Back here, can we open these? No, of course we can't. No? I don't like this. Once again, it feels like I'm going off her script. Also, I don't think I belong in here. And some of these don't even have doors. And they have quite an impactful closing sound, don't they? Okay, other side. And now we're left alone with the echoes and dripping. Something I've come to realize is that probably the main thing that can elevate a good story, a good movie, game, any piece of media from good to fantastic and memorable is good music. And to see that incorporated into a Garry's Mod map and a series of Garry's Mod maps of all things is absolutely incredible. A lot of this feels familiar, but it all seems so much bigger than before. And I don't know if that's just the layout throwing me for a loop, or if it actually is substantially larger. Hope, our greatest power. Contact us at... Omniverse Hope Foundation .void. Don't give up. You know, what's that in your hand? Maybe what she really wants is to not see those who come through here give in to despair. The despair that's bound to set in when you realize that there truly is no end to this. I mean, isn't that what you'd want? Someplace you can actually stay and make into a home when you're in this situation. She offers that. Which again makes me wonder, why would anyone ever leave? Well, at least it has functional kitchens, presumably. Although I doubt there's any gas running to these stoves. Is there a cat running around back here? I mean, not that I'd object, even if the health board might. Well, this door certainly looks important. You went and turned your... You turned yourself back around. You're doing stuff when I'm not here. Although everything is clearly in response to me. Okay, no. From here we can see down below. But if anything, all we're learning is that this floor has been expanded. At least to my memory. This is so weird, seeing whole hallways completely sealed off by boards, signs removed, and yet still lit and accessible as if there's something here. It's like there's certain areas of the mall that are alive, that you could picture people walking through, and yet it's all connected seamlessly to places that feel like a ghost town. I mean, if anything, that's one of the most inhuman aspects of this, the fact that there's no effort to separate those things. But all roads lead back to you. Look at that, we can actually see the lights come on and you start spinning when we enter. See me out? Oh, right here. Right here. Oh, that's right, it's the place I did not want to go. Actually, never really did fully explore very much of this. Static. On a monitor. Wait, is that a green screen? My god. This is like your lair! Wait. You were watching me before. I mean, you've always been watching me, that much is clear. I saw your eyes open from across the room. There's a door back there. And that looks a lot like our suspicious tennis ball friend, doesn't it? You're covering up something important. Well, my next instinct is to take the safety Glock to you, but something tells me that would be unwise. How is that door opened? Wait, I haven't been here. Or at least... Hi, dear. Tell us your name directly. It almost feels like you gave us a playful secret to find to distract us from what you don't. Well, let's keep looking then. This area existed in some form in the original map, but now it's been greatly expanded and it feels like it means so much more. Right here, immersed in your false utopia, but with the reality still plainly visible directly above. Can we interact with these TVs? No. And they do seem to be important on some of the other maps. In fact, it's right around the corner from where we were. I could have seen this if I had taken like 2 more steps. Okay, that door over there probably opens onto the pools, right? Nope, but still somewhere we've been. Wait, whatever happened with that staircase I did not want to descend? It's like sometimes you can't even get through your own thoughts. Is something stopping you, or is it some kind of internal conflict? Alright. If I were to try and break you down... Doesn't seem to matter much, and I can't imagine that was a good thing. There's another window up there, I just realized. Okay. I think at this point, we're ready to head downstairs, and it's not a basement, but it certainly feels like one for how much darker it is. Feeling lost? Let the light of the new sun guide you. The light of the new sun. Let it shine. Is that a severed connection to White Complex? I feel like down here is where we start to see more of the reality. Look at that. Okay, that's our goal then. What is this stuff? That's highly concerning to me. That makes me think that, like, bars can go up and block off that path. Oh, great. Well, that's not threatening at all. For centuries. That ambiance is loud and just threw me straight into a panic. My heart just started racing as soon as I stepped out here. Especially turning around and seeing that. It is so much worse looking that way than the other way around. No, of course not. So then what? I suppose the only thing I can do is go through there, right? Hey there, ominous office chair. Nice touch positioning that vending machine over there to cast a shadow long behind you. This looks familiar. In fact, it reminds me a lot of a certain map in this project. Now, last time I was down here, it was quite a memorable experience, so I wonder if that's going to keep up now. Jimmy was here, meaning, in spite of her best efforts, he did get inside at some point. Maybe this floor is considered lost to him. Hell. There's that black ash that always heralds your arrival. That opening is provided with your blessing, according to the panel. So why don't you just teach me the lesson I knew you were going to teach me as soon as I approached, because something tells me you offer that as a test. A test which I may have just failed. Okay, once more, I've got to ask, do you have cats roaming around? More obese food bowls. Like, it indicates that there either is an animal walking around, or there was at some point, but we haven't seen it. Then again, this sort of implies that a lot of things are moving about just out of sight. Embrace. It's strange because she simultaneously seems like a refugee from our world and the destroyer of this one, claiming to keep us safe from what's out there while being what's out there. And you know, the other maps, she doesn't seem to be embodied by them as much. Like, this very much feels like the one that is most her domain. She appears everywhere, but this is the only one that she really exerts that kind of influence. I wonder if everything else isn't the result of our actions here, or I suppose, depending on how you play it, could also be her attempts to guide us here. There we go. That is actually terrifying. Those lights up there give you the feeling of being pulled towards her, and I actually just realized those are skylights. Those aren't just panels on the ceiling. For all I know, that may actually be happening outside right now. And those eyes. We have not seen her like that before. We will watch you forever.
If you want to leave that bag, go ahead. The key is in the bathroom.
You are not happy with my attempts to leave. Not at all. And yet you're giving me the opportunity. Wait, is it just looping back in on itself? We will watch you forever. Now tell me, based on what we saw, does she seem like the type to hold a grudge? We started to see static in some of the more recent maps. This must be one of those new things that was added for continuity. Back around to here. Allowed us to think we were getting a bridge out of here. Instead, we walk right back into her arms. But I can't help but feel that the relationship is irreparably damaged. And now, having seen her that way, this place feels so much more cold and threatening. Like we're under the microscope. It doesn't seem like we can play this one. The key is in the bathroom, she said. Prone to mood swings, are you? To say nothing of my part in that. That's interesting. After a certain point, we are basically being kicked out. And her portrait has changed all over. It's like her hair has become dark robes for her to hide in. And that's strange. If she is some being that is emblematic of this whole place, why would she craft this persona for herself? That's why I think that every part of her is at odds with itself, but also entirely genuine, and that's the scariest thing. She's the sun in the sky, and she's this place protecting us from it. She wants us to stay forever, and she wants nothing more than for us to go. You know, this was the first thing that really impressed me the first time I explored this map. The way it would occasionally start playing these songs over the speakers, and they'd so realistically echo throughout this cavernous building. And it hit me like a truck after it had done this several times, and I finally realized that the voice in the song was actually speaking directly to me. I thought that was a stroke of genius, and now that there's been so much added on to the lore of these maps, well, it just makes it all the more impactful, especially now that it's been updated with things that would come to be important later. But at this point, I am looking for bathrooms. The others change, but she does not. Maybe that means something. Oh, these are bathrooms. Maybe in here. Well, it's quite pink, so we definitely know who uses this one. However, the key is in fact not in the bathroom. But perhaps it is. Would I be correct in the assumption that this was not here before? All this is made of plywood. Almost as if this is what the renovations were for. Leave me alone. Deja vu? Yeah, on this map, big time. My God. It's your own private bathroom. That's... I don't like reapproaching that window because I know what it looks like to look through that window, and it's terrifying to see myself on the other end of it. I definitely didn't close this. Did that happen behind me? I feel I should be getting out of here. It's starting.
If you want to leave that bag, go ahead.
Oh my God, look at you. God. Okay, I feel like I should be moving now. This is us being shown the door. Those doors have been blown open now.
I'm walking down the street with my head up high, but you keep bugging me. Can't take no more lies. Ooh, yeah, leave me alone. Go away, leave me alone. Go away, leave me alone. Go away, leave me alone.
Are you sure? You're unlocking it for us. I feel I should go check on you. I get the impression that this is a cycle. You bring us in, smother us with love, and then, over time, decide that you're done with us, that we're bad for you, or maybe the other way around, I don't know. Whatever's going on in your head, the scary thing is that I don't get the impression that this is a trap. I get the impression that in the moment, you entirely mean every bit of what you say. But I think I should do as you ask. Maybe you're only one part of this, something that came from the sun, a symptom of it, that believes it is an extension of it. And here we see that connectivity I was talking about. We just loaded into a whole other map, and I did not like the sounds I was hearing just now. I mean, we've heard machinery sounds that sounded suspiciously like breathing. I don't see how what we just heard can be mistaken for anything other than pained moans. But mistaking one thing for another is kind of what we do around here as a human. Look at this. This place reminds me so much of my own apartment that ended up as another piece in the puzzle of this place. Like it was stolen wholesale. God, just think, a place built by humans having that red-pink light pour in. I don't suppose asking for service would do us much good here. But I have to try everywhere I go. This is so much worse than where we came from. And just think, she sent us here. Look out for void creatures, the Bone Brigade, and thunder ghosts. Got it. One thing I know about pink-black maps is never trust an exit sign. since we're not going to make that jump. Oh my god. Oh my... We've met before, haven't we? Yeah, I explored this map recently, only... I had no idea how to get here. That soundtrack that we heard when we were up there. You go through such a huge variety of emotions when exploring these maps, and so much of that is in the eye of the beholder. For example, we can now be beheld by this eye. But that added something new to the mix, a new feeling, and that was just plain spooky. Because this feels like we're standing right at the end of time. That bridge runs over a river of ash. We're under your observation, but this over here is where Jimmy lurks, isn't it? It's just like on the wall in the basement of the mall. The static is leaking. Why didn't I just stay in the bathroom? That's what I would be thinking right about now. Were you there a second ago, or did I just not see you? All these textures drawn on, but the pink sun in the sky. It's almost like you had your little place. You took everything you could to try and replicate where you came from. And she came and corrupted it just to show you that she could. Well, if that is her doing, are you real? I can be whatever you want if you'll give me access to that door. But of course we have to wonder if that's real as well. There's nowhere you can go where it can't see you. It's a prison cell, something you've made your own. But no one's here now, so what does that mean? Did you escape from her containment? I don't like the noises I'm hearing. No, I saw something. I still see something moving over there. Or I did. God, this soundtrack. I'm unwelcome in a place I don't understand. Like I've just gone to an unfamiliar city in another country where I don't speak the language and walked into a bar only to have everyone stop what they were doing and turn to look at me. These doors have been knocked down like somebody followed me in. That was not there before, and it wasn't there the last time I played. A teardrop. For the last person who sat here. Someone is helping me right now, and I don't know who it is because it's clear also that someone is laughing at me. Oh no. I want to look forward for something to move there, but I also don't want to stop looking at the wall that's just at eye level. Oh my God. Pink eyes on a distinctly human projection or face. Straight back to here, we can't get through. Now, I was told that originally this map functioned as something of a prison. Pretty much the only map that you couldn't get out of, but now that changes have been made, is that no longer the case? I mean, my perception of the character of Inno has completely changed this time around. I read her completely differently throughout the events of the map. And honestly, it just adds to the confusion the way it goes, because it doesn't outright make her a villain, at least as far as my perception goes. But it does make her a lot harder to read. It makes everything a lot harder to read. And I only played the previous iteration of this map fairly recently. But even then, I found this to be probably one of the creepiest additions to the overall lore. A prison, someplace that presumably Jimmy was cast down to and tried to create their own little escape here, but it was all to toy with them. It really makes me wonder about what the dynamic between the different entities is here, what the significance is of the static that has been creeping into this over time, even into maps where it wasn't before. And I don't know, especially with the new additions, it just feels so dark and foreboding, but like the meaning is just on the tip of my tongue. But when you wake up, you just can't put the pieces together to make it make waking sense. You just know the beats. You know what you're supposed to feel as you're meant to feel it. But the best you can do is try to tell yourself a story, because it's not being told to you. And it made the character of Inu so much more complex. And that's definitely going to shape the way I view the rest of these maps as a whole. Still, I know that I did not see everything of the new Void Mall, so body surfing. I'm probably going to head back there and see what I can see. Oh, this is a whole... Ooh. Right, there's a whole lot of basement I haven't seen. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, look at that. Even in the darkness, we can see like a pink haze that hangs in the darkness. I don't imagine many of these are going to open. Interior windows, they always freak me out, but here it's even worse because we can't see what's beyond this one. It doesn't seem like there should be anything beyond this one. Doesn't seem like there is. What is this? Oh, I think this is where we listened to that first radio. This map is crazy because it's like it has this bright, welcoming world that we're brought into when we first arrive. And as we make our way deeper, as we go further physically downward, it's like the mask starts to slip. Oh, we've gotten back around to where we started. And I gotta wonder if it's not like a forbidden fruit situation. Like, we were asked not to break her heart, not to move on. And we haven't left the area as a whole, but maybe, I don't know, maybe she takes offense to us leaving what she's created for us. Or maybe it's just an inevitable end to the cycle. Maybe she can't control herself. Oh, it is pitch black in these hallways. That's the other thing. These basement areas and these back areas, they're like a dark, almost too realistic contrast to the vibrant utopia that we're being shown otherwise. And it makes it feel like we were never supposed to be here. Wait, that's where we first came down from the apartment. Can we open this? We can. But that's not where I'm trying to go. Alright. What's wild is how little we're told, and yet she still comes off as a tragic character. I mean, there's a kind of melancholy in that pop music, or... I mean, I'm not a music genre guy, I'm sure people will argue with me about that, but it really does sound just like some teen idol song. And yet, there's a sadness in it. Little insert here, something that seems important that I only noticed while recording the bumper. Omniverse Hope Foundation Charity and Research Center. And there's also one of these Hope posters down here. I wonder if this isn't maybe her hoping out loud for the existence of something more? Ooh, surface life not for you? Tried Darklight Apartments. It's safer underground. God, it's so cool how this map not only speaks to us through the speakers, but also through the posters and even the business names. I just love the idea of this needy but inviting presence that isn't physically present, but which speaks through the location itself. You get the impression she is the location itself. Even if you think there might be something more dangerous there, you still want to be her friend. You want to be that source of comfort. And then as time progresses, she's actually the one that turns on you now. And it coincides with you getting lower in the mall and down into darker levels of the place. I always make the comparison to how in dreams, it's always when you pursue those more negative thoughts that the whole thing tends to take a turn for the negative. And it's like as you go further down into the darker spaces, that's when the cracks start to show more. That's when you start to become more hostile towards us, and your appearance actually becomes more monstrous. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, performance definitely taking a dive as we see the whole map at once. And look at this. There's actually a full interior back here. I would be willing to bet money that there may be some way to open this. Maybe it's only an entrance, but it does lead in from another map. Look, liminal space maps are a dime a dozen the last few years on the Garry's Mod Workshop, and so I really have to applaud this for doing something truly different. It has practically nothing in common with those things in terms of imagery, in terms of concepts, except the very idea of being lost in an endless space itself. It may seem counterproductive to bring what's supposed to be a liminal space to life in this way. And once again, it seems like the idea of feeling something, and so many things, in a liminal space map is counterintuitive, but it's one of the many ways that it's able to stand out and have its own identity. And I think when you take things that feel like they shouldn't work together and make them work, that's how you create whole new emotions. And taking the time to process those emotions is how you make sure that it lingers in players' minds. In conclusion, Inu is a really compelling protagonist for this particular area of the Void Places because you want to make her happy. You don't want to leave her. You know that you have to, and by the end of it, you're honestly not sure if you're the one causing the problem or if she is. She's the saddest, scariest liminal mall girl I've ever met, and I can totally fix her. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.